And we are back, and it looks like second series of the tournaments have already surpassed us, Dan. And we now have the start of the third series. Now, both these teams that are up next are about 1-1 in their groups, so this next game will determine who actually progresses into the knockout stages. So we have Zhuh and XXL against Metalizer and MrTeaNCrumpets. So this is all or nothing, Dan, on the line.
Just for clarification, he meant third. He's Irish. He says turd. Don't worry, he wasn't being rude. It's a number. Yeah, this is a big game though. They both lost to Doodle's team, so I think they both lost 2-0. So we need to see them get a big win here, and that'll progress them through the group. It's good to see Zhuh playing again. Honestly, one of the best Halo 5 players that I've casted over in Europe. So I'm excited to see what he offers here.
Yeah, he's got a solid shot and some great movement. XXL, he's attended many events as well, so he's been around the scene for a very long time. The other two boys we've not seen too much of. Metalizer, I believe, is an admin for us, so maybe he can get some bragging rights over a former EU Pro League player in Zhuh. So let's see how we get on.
Is there bragging rights? Do you reckon that's what people were wanting here? They wanted to just assert their dominance in this 2v2, because then when we get into the next one, then bragging rights start again. Because I saw Wonderboy was saying giving a lot of this in Discord, wasn't he?
He was mouthing off. And here we go, the best of three. Of course, it will be Slayer Empire, then Slayer Truth, and Slayer on the Rig. What way do you see these going, Dan?
I would go with XXL and Zhuh from my personal experience of watching these competitors, but it's 2v2. Anything can happen. It's of course going to be about who can get like the power-ups and power weapons, and we'll see who can get the early domination, because if you can snowball with a lead, then you're always going to be able to feel confident.
Yeah, I suppose they are a bit of a question mark as Metalizer and TeaNCrumpets, so we don't know what to expect. Have them boys been grinding all this time? We don't know. As we load into the game, overshields and stuff will be, of course, pivotal in victory as we get things underway with XXL.
Yeah, and XXL already just inserting himself into the map and ensuring he can get into a fight as quick as possible. TeaNCrumpets is taken down instantly, and then now they'll try and 2v1 swarm this, try and pincer Metalizer, who's the last remaining player. Does have camouflage, it looked like, even though my screen is really weird.
He got camouflage over on tower side, and of course overshield would be spawning on the opposite side. So we have two power-ups in play here, but we don't have any power weapons, so no rocket launchers, no sniper rifles to contend with, just the power-ups. So I suppose as a team you have a decision to make, Dan. Do you go two-man push for the overshield, or do you split 1-on-1?
If you're confident in your 1v1s, you split 1-on-1, but you should try and stagger the spawns as best as you can and try and push for both. Maybe like time the overshield a little bit differently, pick it up a little bit late.
Yeah, the last thing you want, of course, is to split 1v1 and then maybe run into a team that is 2v1 and you're in big trouble then. So like Dan says, staggering the spawns would be key to ensuring you get both power-ups, if not both, maybe one anyway for sure. As MrTeaNCrumpets gets taken down and Metalizer jumps into tower 2 and it's also taken down by Zhuh. This is 6-1, Dan. 6-1, Dan. This is not looking good for the boys.
Yeah, and you might see on your screen as well, it says XXL and Kimbo. Kimbo was originally going to be playing, but replaced by Zhuh. A pretty good replacement, although I would say Kimbo, I would argue, the best Halo 5 player. If I really look at his achievements and how he played when Halo 5 was at its prime in the EU Pro League, but Zhuh, certainly someone who is a phenomenal replacement for him.
Yeah, you have to say Kimbo was successful in almost every single roster that he was on. Of course, he was on that full German team rather, in the Pro League, and slowly but surely progressed onto the Infused roster with the likes of Mose and Respectful. But he's pulled out today and replaced by, like you say, Zhuh, who by no means has he not got the skill to live up to Kimbo.
This game is probably over. It's just quite funny to say that at 10-2, but it looks like TeaNCrumpets and Metalizer are really struggling to keep up with the pace of XXL and Zhuh here. They're rotating really well around the map, ensuring they're taking as many 2v1 fights as possible, cleaning up kills correctly, everything being done spot on.
Yeah, they have the map knowledge and stuff. That although Metalizer has just picked up the overshield, they have the know-how to know when to push with their teammates and where the spawns and stuff are. Whereas the guys on Metalizer and TeaNCrumpets are getting very split all of the time, and there's not a lot of teamwork coming in on their part. As XXL has the Promethean weapon in the, not the brute shot down. I thought it was a brute shot, but that's not actually in Halo 5.
It's definitely not a brute shot.
Not a brute shot. It is a Promethean weapon, all the same as
Don't
Mr.
start asking me
MrTeaNCrumpets.
about Halo 5 weapons.
Don't do it.
You put yourself in a sticky situation here.
I was looking for a.
You hoped I was going to rescue you, Richie.
Oh, I was really looking for what I was drowning out here, Dan, and then I was looking towards you, and you totally scared me from the Lion King and just gave me the nails, and off the cliff I went.
You threw yourself under the bus, and I watched and I laughed.
You drove the bus.
Enjoyed it. I may as well be the driver.
Yep.
I even invited people to buy a ticket and to continue and watch you get run over by said bus.
As we look, we're on with MrTeaNCrumpets as he's on the tower side, putting shots down onto XXL. Zhuh in the kill feed has gotten a 5 and now a double kill. As we jump over to Zhuh, who seems to be heating up quite nicely here. Simmering on the boil, you'd say, Dan.
Didn't he have that song on his stream as well? And there's that clip of Wonderboy singing "Welcome to the Zoo" with Onset and Sims. Welcome to the zoo. Zhuh, wasn't that Zhuh's stream?
That was him.
Fairly certain it was, yeah.
Yep, that was him. Unlike Dan, you see, I have helped him out there, and I haven't slung him straight under the bus.
Well, that's because I've said a true fact. I've actually stated something you've just agreed with me. You were asking me a genuine question, and you were looking for some help on something you didn't know. Little did you know, I had no clue either.
As jumps out front red here, taking some shots. Oh, MrTeaNCrumpets was giving him the wiggle waggle there for a second. If you have to say, if TeaNCrumpets could have hit that headshot, we could have seen a little clip for him on the Zhuh. But Zhuh, of course, takes him down and is now top middle and just running these boys ragged.
Yep, just going to push over, look for the camouflage. It is going to be up. It is going to be challenged straight away. Goes for the little back smack. TeaNCrumpets has no idea where Zhuh is right now, but he's able to get some decent shots and then get away. And now we can just reposition. And honestly, there's not really a coming back here. There's not an opportunity.
I'm not sure TeaNCrumpets knew exactly where he was either, to be fair. You are playing Halo 5, TeaNCrumpets. This isn't Plaza. You are in a 2v2 game right now, and Metalizer needs your help.
20-6. It's a real struggle at the moment. TeaNCrumpets with 4 kills, Metalizer with 2 kills right now, whereas Zhuh dominating the scoreboard with 15. And with the camouflage, you'd imagine this is going to be a 16th. No, he gets the assist. XXL comes in to clean it up, and now he can bait and switch here. And it's just going to be a matter of when they get to 25, not if.
You have to fancy that Zhuh and XXL might be somewhat favourites to progress into the knockout stages, maybe take on the likes of Wonderboy and Jimbo. We're kind of hoping that maybe they'll take down not so much Jimbo, but more Wonderboy, because we cannot listen to him have the bragging rights for the foreseeable future.
Frenzy for Zhuh, and you're completely right. The last thing I want is to listen to Wonderboy try and tell me he's good at Halo ever again. But you know what? He's actually been grinding. He is one of these players that has continued to play Halo 5, continued to stream Halo 5. So this is a good chance for him to demonstrate that he can go up against some other big players in the EU community. Although I am surprised that XSL and Zhuh did lose to Doodle's team. I think that says a lot for how Doodles is performing as well.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Wonderboy probably has a scheduled tweet, thanking everybody, thanking his mom and dad for giving birth to him. He probably has this all locked up and thinking that it's done and dusted for him. As Zhuh and XXL go 1-0 up in the series, as we have the stats here, as you said, Dan. Zhuh on a frenzy, 18-3. It was a bit of a whitewash.
2-14 for Metalizer. You hate to see it. You don't really want to be on the receiving end of a loss like that. And I was thinking this game might be close, considering both were 1-1 in the group stage. But I think we have a difference in class with these two teams. But you never know. Maybe the first map, maybe it's just not for them. Maybe Empire isn't their favorite, and we'll see how they do on map number 2.
Yes, of course. Map number 2, they will look to bounce back as we go into the bracket. As you can see, next game is Truth. They don't have Overshield to contend with, but they still have Camo, Dan. We have to fancy this might just be a 2-0 series sweep for Zhuh and XXL with the way the first game went.
With the way that Zhuh's playing and how XXL is utilizing Zhuh's slaying ability, then yes, I would say this is going to be a comfortable 2-0 victory. But anyone who has the name TeaNCrumpets is going to have my respect. And therefore, I will put that respect into hope that they get back into this series.
TeaNCrumpets, are they maybe taking the mick out of you English boys? I don't know, because I enjoy TeaNCrumpets myself.
And you're not English, obviously.
Not English.
No.
But we would more call crumpets pancakes. So tea and pancakes. Yeah.
Sorry, pause the stream. Pause the stream, everyone. Hold on.
Hold it.
You call crumpets pancakes?
Yeah, we wouldn't really call them crumpets. They're like small mini pancakes.
Well, no, there's something different between a crumpet and a pancake, Richard.
No, it's pancakes, Dan. Okay, don't try and lecture me.
We will continue this conversation later because the game is starting.
Game is starting.
Oh, but however,
we're not on board as the boys try and contest this camouflage down on bottom P as Double XL goes down. This might be the platform and the catapult to something greater as they got a 2-0 wipe. Was camo burned? I believe it was.
No, I think I just saw it picked up not. Actually.
Oh, thanks, Dan.
Well, the game is spiking a little bit, so
there is a bit of a jittery.
Yeah, I understand, but that's a 3-0 lead, and maybe the jitters is what we've just seen now on the side of XXL. Maybe they're starting to get a little bit nervous as it's a 4-1 lead. TNCrumpets gets a perfect, and now they can start to try and control P2 here.
TNCrumpets, he's probably enraged by the fact that I've called them pancakes, and himself is looking to prove me wrong and say that they are indeed crumpets and not pancakes. But more on that later. As Metalizer jumps up Pete at the top base and gets a smack right on the chin from Double XL.
I have been told we actually have the ability to get listen-ins for this tournament. I'm really excited to see what the communication is between Mr. T and Pancakes himself and Metalizer. So let's jump into a listen-in now and see how they communicate at 4-4.
Green gun. Oh yeah, I forgot about green gun on this map.
Setting up the camera. Push out through blue, yeah?
Top mid. There's a guy top mid.
Yeah, it's XL.
Watch out for the flank.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Flank, car bubble.
Okay.
Game, but unfortunately XSL and Zhuh now have taken a pretty commanding lead, make that 4-kill lead as Zhuh picks up the headshot onto Metalizer to finish him. So even though it was looking decent for TNCrumpets and Metalizer, they just weren't able to stay on board.
Yeah, you've heard Mr. TNCrumpets. He has asked Metalizer what time is camo, and Metalizer just didn't respond. I don't know whether he was just super focused on what he needed to do over on Bubble's side, but definitely didn't relay any information as TNCrumpets was over on P side trying to secure that camo for his team solo. But he was met with some brute force from Double XL and Zhuh. As you can see, they've set up here down bottom red, maybe suspecting that the blue team have camo.
Yeah, just going for the strats of not saying it too loud as if you're on LAN and your opponent can hear you, but not going to happen as the ambush is now possible. And XXL was very unaware there of any noise anywhere at all, and Zhuh didn't even give him the shout out as we're tied up 9-9 just like that. And I tell you what, Metalizer and TNCrumpets, they've done all right here.
If I'm Double XL there, Dan, I'm pretty upset. I was like, Zhuh, you've had one job there, pal. You've had to watch one entrance, and you've sold me down the river, is what I'm saying.
Absolutely. I mean, he completely just maybe was on his phone. Maybe that's where they are right now in this series. They thought it was going to be easy, thought it was going to be comfortable. So Zhuh was just having a little scroll through whatever dating app he might be using. Don't know if he's taken or not. Maybe he's not using a dating app. I don't want to upset anyone.
You shouldn't be using a dating app. Shouldn't be using a dating app if he's taken that much for sure, Dan.
Not also shouldn't be using it mid-game, mid-tournament.
Well, I don't know, Dan. Sometimes, duty calls and you're trying to secure yourself a lady friend for the night time.
Maybe you could actually use that as a way to pick someone up, saying I'm mid 2v2 tournament and we're winning and it's that comfortable that I can go and set up.
Like, look at this, love. I'm absolutely slaying and praying out here. Do you fancy going out tonight?
Exactly.
Valentine's has been and gone though, so get your head in the game, Zhuh. Get your head in the game. Stop looking for those 10s and start hitting some slays, please.
Start hitting some 5s.
Johnny 5 alive as we're on board with Zhuh, who seems to be the only one left alive to stay on board with, as he picks up the camo. It's not a bad time to switch to him. Camo, of course, at 30 seconds. we'll probably see another, maybe one, possibly two camos as the rest of this series goes. But Dan, almost complete stark contrast to the last game we've had, where the boys are giving a good account of themselves on the blue team.
Yeah, I just think Truth is an easier map to try and just take direct gunfights, and you have less to think about. There's only the camouflage. You don't have camouflage plus overshield. So it's less about setting up, and it's more about just natural raw aim. And clearly, Metalizer and TeaNCrumpets have decent aim, and they can shoot. They can play Halo. But now Zhuh and XXL are starting to take the lead. Zhuh has found himself the camouflage, which should give them a decent platform to start progressing even further here.
We also seen Zhuh take a fight there front blue as he took down both members of the opposite team. So great work from him, staying alive with the camo and also getting the two slays. And of course now his camo is gone and he's just looking to throw himself into some action as he falls XXL in no man's land. Dan, by no means do you ever want to be out here fighting against a guy peace side. He's using those little defensive objects out the front of the bases very well. We used to call them nipples. I'm not sure that's what they are though.
It's also something I was never allowed to say on a normal stream, but I guess on this stream I can call them nipples. Although really, I could have said nipples. Nipples isn't an offensive word, is it? No.
Many things have nipples, Dan.
Yeah, cows.
Yeah, and milk is delicious.
Yeah, absolutely delicious. And do you know what else is delicious? Metalizer's shot right now. Only 4 kills down. 6 minutes to go, so still plenty of time, but just needs to ensure that he stays alive here and they start communicating. They just need, like, one team fight gets them back into it here. Just need to take both of them down and then try and single them out of spawns.
My mind was all set on milk and Dan. That's why he's a pro. He's got a lovely little segue into Metalizer's shot. I just have to appreciate that, as you should do at home as well. Of course, again, taking all the money that we have for this tournament into his back pocket.
I mean, by all means, I can continue to talk about milk and we can go down that route and where it may lead, but it's a very dangerous one to go.
I don't think people talk about milk enough, if you ask me. I mean, it's very underappreciated in today's society. As Zhuh falls to MrTeaNCrumpets. Again, tea, Dan. Milk, tea. You see? It's pivotal in life.
Honestly, you've done really well. Do you know who else has done really well? XXL this game. He's 2 kills away from potentially taking this team through to the knockout stages. Oh, that's a big nade, though. And suddenly, this is a possibility here. As I say that, hopes may be taken away as quick as they were given.
Is XXL's hitbox a little bit larger, considering he's extra large? That's maybe we need to get the guys at 343 to confirm. As MrTeaNCrumpets puts some shot down here on peace side onto XXL, who does fall. Maybe hitbox. Maybe XXL needs to maybe change his gamer tag to maybe shorten that hitbox for himself.
You can see though, Zhuh on the other side of the map was just trying to survive here, just staying alive, waiting for XXL to spawn so that they can then push together as everything slows down a little bit as they try to ensure they pick up this final 25th kill. Crumpets with some nades though, just to try and back them off. Got to make sure you don't get caught in a 1v2 situation, but he is, and that is going to be the final kill. And that is going to be 2-0 and the series for Zhuh and XXL.
XXL and Zhuh definitely gave them a little bit more respect in that game as they started to claw their way back into the game, and a much better showing from the boys. They can be proud of that performance against the likes of Zhuh, but still, you can be proud, but you've still fallen here, and they'll be out. We won't be seeing them again until maybe the next time.
Yes,
as Zhuh and XXL progress.
It'll be them going through to knockouts alongside Doodles, who topped the group. The other team in this group was Doxy Laura, who finished bottom of the group. Stats-wise, XXL went 13-12, 12-9. So not as much of a dominant performance as the previous, but they got the job done, and I think that's all that mattered, really.
Yeah, as you can see, Metalizer only having 2 assists as well. As we look at the best of 3, XXL's team, of course, 25-9, a clear victory there. But the game on Truth a little bit closer, and maybe if you had managed your debts a little bit better, guys on the blue team, you might have come out with victory. But alas, these are the lessons you learn, and you learn them the hard way.
I mean, one of the worst swings was actually when we joined the listening, and they lost those 4 kills, and that was really the difference maker. If they'd been able to maybe clean up the communications a bit more and maybe responded about when the camouflage was coming up, then, things could have been a bit better. All these little small details, Richie, they change things.
Maybe the fact that we have, of course, gone in and listened, it's put the nerves on them. As
they would have heard the Discord like, boop, boop, boop.
And then, of course, they're listening to me now. Maybe I can't say the bad words that I wanted to say maybe I still can say them, but I shouldn't. Definitely shouldn't say them. But the communication went a little bit downhill, as you could tell. You could definitely tell. Metalizer was not on board with the communication when it was MrTeaNCrumpets looking for the camo time. Oh, you go ahead, Dan.
I was just going to say, listen-ins are a very dangerous thing. We used to use them a lot at European events, like iSeries used to do them a lot. And I remember when I was on A4D, they jumped into a listen-in, and one of my teammates was talking about mating with their grandmother at the time. And then the listen-in was quickly pulled back because they realized it was quite disgusting, and therefore listen-ins were banned for the next 3 events. So that's what happened. Yeah.
So what I want to know is, how did that story end? Because I am now invested. Maybe we should. Maybe we should get to that off stream, Dan. Maybe because we don't want to see listen-ins banned for here for the foreseeable future. That much is for sure.
No, we definitely don't.
We will, of course, shoot over to an intermission as we decide what game we're going to jump on board with next as we enter the knockout stages. So it's make or break for all these teams. See you in a minute.